What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Saturday night's Anfield Agenda News Roundup, where once again, I'm going to choose my words very, very carefully. There has been conflicting stories today in the media, from one end of the spectrum saying that the deal for Isak is done, all the way to the other end of the spectrum to say there hasn't even been talks. We're going to try to keep you up to date with what exactly has been said, what to expect, and of course we'll take you through the news on Joe Gomez, Alexander Isak, Mark Guéhi, and a couple of other bits and pieces, including Costa signing his deal with Roma to go on loan. So all of that and more, but will I be here tonight? I believe I will be, ladies and gents, so do keep an eye on your notifications because I think we'll have something to discuss tonight. So until then, let's get stuck into the news. As always, I want to know your thoughts. Please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Gonna start off with a bit of a crazy one. Didn't expect to wake up today to see Di Marzio putting out into the world that Milan are looking to sign Joe Gomez. That one really did surprise me, but believe it or not, this isn't the last Joe Gomez story I'm going to be discussing on this video, but for that one, I don't think there's anything going to come of it. Liverpool want to keep Joe for his versatility right across the back line, and of course, Arne knows he can trust in him when fit. So, let's take you now to James Pearce, who confirmed Liverpool's Champions League fixtures. The draw took place on Thursday, but we did tell you guys it would be Saturday before we had the fixture dates and times. So, this is who Liverpool play and when. Atletico Madrid at home is the first game, Wednesday, September the 17th. Then it's Galatasaray away, Tuesday, September the 30th. Frankfurt away, Wednesday, October 22nd. Real Madrid at home, Tuesday, November the 4th. PSV Eindhoven at home, Wednesday, November 26th. Inter Milan away, Tuesday, December 9th. Marseille away, Wednesday, January 21st. And then Liverpool finish the Champions League format at home to Karabag, Wednesday, January 28th. All of those games are 8 p.m. kickoffs. James Pearce also said the scheduling of Frankfurt away in the Premier League or Champions League means that Liverpool's Premier League game against Brentford on Saturday, October the 25th, has now been moved to an 8 p.m. kickoff that night. So same day against Brentford, but it's now an 8 p.m. kickoff. Right, so David Ornstein said this about Alexander Isak. I think it is looking increasingly like Liverpool that Isak will join, but still a lot needs to happen for that to take place, as you cannot rule out him staying at Newcastle. But even at St James's Park, I think there's a growing expectation now that a move to Liverpool could happen. On top of that, Jan Fjortoft almost broke the internet when he said, understand Isak deal is done. Newcastle away at Leeds tonight, so nothing expected before that, I am told. Fee will be £130 million. Isak to Liverpool likely to happen very soon. That, of course, did spring the internet into action, and journalists far and wide were tapping up their sources, trying to find out what's going on. Liverpool sources insist there is no agreement in place for Alexander Isak, writes Ben Jacob. If a deal gets done, the expectation is it will be for below 130 million or not at all. Isak remains optimistic of a move to Anfield before the window shuts. So let's try to join some of these dots for you. Why are Liverpool hanging on and hanging on? Well, because everybody's told us that Newcastle need to sign 2 forwards for Liverpool to have a chance to sign Isak. But there's another part of this that doesn't get spoken about enough. It is what happens if Newcastle do commit that money to buy 2 forwards. Well, it means that they have some PSR concerns, shall we say. And how do you ease those concerns? You get where I'm going with this? By selling a big player on Liverpool's terms. So let's wait and see what happens between now and by the time I could be live tonight. Keep going though, lots more news to talk about. Alex Crook said Isak is confident a dream Liverpool move will happen before Monday's transfer deadline, but no new bid as of now. As I reported last night, the champions do not intend to pay anywhere near £130 million. So it does look like Liverpool biding their time is also about putting the squeeze and the pressure on Newcastle price-wise. Craig Hope said, as of lunchtime, there has been no talks between Liverpool and Newcastle. They're yet to resume. When they do, as is expected, Liverpool's second offer for Isak is likely to be in the region of £120 million. Newcastle still pushing for a second striker. Visa and Larsson not expected to play for their clubs today. So as you can see, lots going on here, and games need to happen, and then It's a race against time. Right, Dominic King, gone the very other end of the spectrum from Jan Fjørtoft, has said Liverpool have not, in all caps, agreed a £130 million deal with Newcastle for Isak. The clubs aren't in talks and it's misleading to suggest they are. The only deal Liverpool may complete before Monday is Costas to Roma. Significant chance there won't be any arrivals. Let me just put this out there. Dominic King's going to be wrong. Dominic King's going to be very wrong. Dominic King should be used to being wrong, but that's okay. He will be wrong. We'll move on. Lee Ryder said, as things stand, Newcastle are more than happy to keep Isak and reintegrate the striker to play with Nick Woltmader. There has been no contact with Liverpool. Again, all of this is brinksmanship and bluff. Liverpool don't want to get near the number Newcastle want. Newcastle don't want to be seen to be weak. There is a bit of an impasse here. But again, like I said to you last night, it's about the timing of this bid from Liverpool. Liverpool will move. They will move quickly and they will move at a number that they believe will get the job done. So, time to hold your nerve. Stick with us. Like I said, I think I'll be back here tonight and I think we'll have something to talk about. Sammy Mockbell of the BBC has said, Crystal Palace have an interest in taking Joe Gomez on loan as part of Liverpool's move to sign Mark Guehi. Liverpool would reject any formal proposal of the kind, and I believe we're right to do so. Again, it's not our fault that Crystal Palace had bring in a replacement. They've had plenty of time to do it. Lee Ryder has said the current situation is a tough one for Newcastle, who are still without the services of Isak, who has told them, don't forget, he doesn't want to play for them again. The door is not closed for fresh talks and Isak continues to push for the move, but there has been no new bid. Do you know one thing that keeps being said here is no new bid, no new bid. The bid is the last part of the process. Let me put that out there. Paul Joyce has said Liverpool would not agree to Joe Gomez moving on loan to Crystal Palace as a make-weight in a potential deal for Mark Guehi. Palace have been looking at that possibility, but a non-starter for Liverpool due to Joe Gomez's versatility. And the last thing that we have is Jan Fjørtoft doubling down on his stance. On TV with beIN Sport, he said this: I've been told that Isak is on his way and a deal should be done for Liverpool. Jan Fjørtoft has the latest, they say, the Swedish striker's transfer at Newcastle replacement with Andy Kerr TV, as I mentioned that on beIN Sport. Right, David Ornstein said exclusive. Chelsea informed Bayern Munich they will not be proceeding with proposal loan of Nicholas Jackson after an injury to Liam Delap. 24-year-old striker travelled to Germany and the move is now off. So Newcastle can breathe a huge sigh of relief there because they've got in and got Nick Woltmader signed up and announced. This could have been a huge spanner in the works for them. So they got their timing very, very well done, which is good to Newcastle because a lot of their timing has been pretty shambolic in this transfer window. But that is a big bit of news there for Newcastle. And Chelsea going to hang on to Nicholas Jackson because of that injury to Liam Delap. So that is where we're at for now, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, I've cleared my evening. I've prepared the family that I won't be around. And I'm most likely going to be here with you guys because I think we'll have something to talk about. Until then, I understand you're probably frustrated with me a little bit, wanting me to give you a bit more. But like I said last night, I have to prove myself to this person. So I'm going to just wait till it happens and then we'll have a conversation. So keep your notifications turned on. Remember, if you do want the news directly to your phone, join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. Scan that QR code on the screen and that will bring you right there. Tomorrow, well, we'll be live tonight most likely, but tomorrow, 3:15, we'll be starting our watch-along coverage. Massive game against Arsenal. Hope to see you then. Much love. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.